Good afternoon and welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton and I'm here bringing you David Moyes' press conference in preparation for the game this Sunday against Manchester City at the Etihad. And we are buzzing as West Ham fans. How good is it to be a West Ham fan right now? Top of the league in the Europa League, qualified automatically and through to the last 16. Yes, you have heard me correct. The last 16. I can't even get my head around it right now. If we rewind back to the beginning of the season and we talk about our goals and our expectations for the season ahead, and loads of us said, give a good account of ourselves to the Europa League, give a good account of ourselves. And that is exactly what we've done. That's exactly what we've done. We had Nigel on the show last night for the review, highlights, match day highlights show. And he said, you know what, you don't... He's satisfied. I mean, I'm satisfied to a certain extent, but I want us to keep going and keep progressing as much as we can. And the thing is, when the draw does get made, I want the biggest, bigger they come, the harder they fall. It makes it for such an exciting competition. And I feel like that's just where West Ham are at in themselves generally anyway. We came up against Liverpool and we didn't worry about it, we didn't panic about it, and we got the job done. And that's exactly the West Ham that Moyes has just transformed, like absolutely transformed. It's lost for words sometimes, to be honest. And by watching the channel, that's not as a rare attribute for me is to be lost for words. But you know what? We got the job done. We've got a game to go. We bedded in some of the youth. We're bedding in some of the youth. And we're following what David Moyes has said all that time ago when he joined the club for the second time round about what he wants to achieve at West Ham. And he's building the club from back to front, from front to back, from left to right, you name it, backroom staff to players, exactly what he wants to do. And we put the faith into what Moyes is wanting to do, and we get the repercussions and we get the results that we're looking to do. The team are firing on all cylinders, and it is fantastic. Yes, okay, we're doing okay in terms of the injury front. Things aren't, it's not drastically going wrong, and touch wood, every single bit of wood you can find that's possible that we continue with that form. But yeah, great time. So obviously Russ has done his lunchtime show earlier on today, so make sure you go back and have a look at that. A great in-depth look at potentially replacements for Ogbonna. Very good data analytics coming from that show, so go back and check out the lunchtime live as well. Later on this evening we will have a late show. Still will be doing a late show. I need my beauty sleep, of course, with the new baby that's here. So make sure you go and check out the late show. I think that's going to be a late one, maybe 11:30, maybe midnight, but make sure you check it out. Of course, Stell will be talking about all the news that Kretinsky has agreed with an option to buy the club from the owners. So Stell will go in a little bit more depth about that, unless he decides to do a daily a little bit later on. But maybe just keep an eye out on the channel. This particular show was put together very quickly because of life gets in the way, and that's exactly what happens. I know there's not a huge amount of people in the chat, so I'm going to come back and just come and see who's there. Budgie, you're in. Good man. Clive, thank you very much. Hope you're well. Welcome back. Thank you. The new arrival's great, and Mrs. Baker, she is doing very well. Thank you very much. Black Country Hammer, thank you very much for joining us. And if you are new around here, please do hit that subscriber button. It really does help our channel out. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We really want to get there before the end of next month, before the end of December, before we hit 2022. We want to be sitting at 10,000 subscribers. The only way is up, so that's what you want to do. Hit that subscriber button if you are new around here, of course. But let me jump into the Moyes press conference. I can only be on for another 6 or 7 minutes, so I want to really get through this as much as I can. So he goes straight on and talks about team news. He says, we seem okay, but we'll assess things today, get through the training and see how everyone is. We think we're okay though. So what we do know is, of course, Ogbonna is out for the season. So we're going to have to make some changes. So some changes are going to be made now. For the Europa League game last night, I didn't expect to see Dawson and Diop start the game. However, what do we know? What do we know as West Ham fans? We don't know a lot. We don't know much as doing YouTube shows and talking about the club we love so much, because he just does things the Moyes way. And the Moyes, you know what? He's transitioned me into thinking the way he thinks. But I thought he transitioned me into thinking the way he thinks nearly in every decision, but he just goes ahead and proves me wrong every single time. So we know there's going to be a change in the back line. It'll be interesting to see if he sticks with the Dawson partnership alongside Zuma as well. People are calling maybe for changes with regards to Benrahma as well, but Benrahma I think will be coming in and staying in that position, but we won't talk about that yet because we'll have the preview tomorrow night, so make sure you come and join us for the preview tomorrow night as well. And then people again are now talking about things like Antonio, but yeah, I mean, he relies heavily on Antonio's style of play and everything he does for the team, but all in all, the team news is looking quite good. So then he goes on to talk about rotation. He says, we always wanted to use our whole squad, and we've done that through the tournament so far. It's worked, and the results and performances have been excellent. We've taken a few risks with it, but last night was a good result and performance. So he's obviously talking there and has the full-blown trust in his squad rotation for not just the Europa League, but for the Premier League. Yes, he's stuck quite consistently with the same team that he's got and he's had throughout the Premier League, but there's no ifs and buts about it. He's going to have to tap into the whole squad for this. It's going to do the, you know what, I can't fault really Vlasic's performance yesterday. I thought it was a better performance, probably the best one we saw in a claret and blue shirt. Yeah, he's not played a lot, but definitely the best that we've saw in a claret and blue shirt. What a great opportunity and great assist it was from him. Good work down the left-hand side, crossed it in over for Yarmolenko's header. And it's good, of course, Yarmolenko got on the score sheet. Because do you know what? At the end of the day, yes, I get what everyone's saying. But if Yarmolenko could start to chip in with some goals, especially coming off the bench, then that's going to add and help to West Ham's, progression this season. He then goes on and talks about the Man City versus PSG game. He did watch it. He said it was an incredible game of football, probably one of the best I've seen in a long time. He then goes on and says about Michael Antonio. He says, Mike will probably cause them different problems than Messi would do, but they've shown exactly what they are, and everybody is trying to aspire to be at their level. That takes time, but we've got a great team. But they've got a great team and a great manager, and that they do. We know everything about Manchester City. Yes, they've got a big blank checkbook. When they want to go and sign a player, they go and sign a player. When they want to bring a player in, they go and bring a player in. That's exactly what they do. They have a fantastic manager. They have fantastic quality and strength and depth. And that game against PSG was a very good and exciting game. And yes, they challenged some of the best players in the world and they got the result they needed. But what he goes on and says and talks about Mikel Antonio is that he's a different option. Of course, he's a different option because sometimes, in my opinion, Antonio doesn't really know what he's going to do, but he does it and he does it really well. So this could be the game. I don't doubt for a second that Antonio is going to play, but this could be the game that could really give Antonio to play up to the occasion, play up to the team, work for the team, cause that defense problems. An Antonio firing on all cylinders, even out with goals, causes that defense problems, and that's what we want as West Ham fans, causing their defense problems. Because I do see opportunities for West Ham to go and get a goal against them. He again goes on and talks about Man City in general and how we knocked them out of the League Cup earlier on in the season. We knocked them out, didn't beat them in 90 minutes, but beat them on penalties. We also went up there last year and showed signs. We're trying to get closer to them, but as you can see, even with players the level of PSG, it's hard to stop Man City. We've challenged the top teams. We've got a result against Liverpool, so I want to see if we can compete against them and make things difficult for big sides. Now, if there's ever a moment in a West Ham, as a West Ham fan, to have an expectation, it's not an expectation to walk into that game and think, well, we're going to go and get a result, but a belief. It's a newfound belief with West Ham fans, and I think that's why when we do get beat or we do draw, we feel it harder, in my opinion. I think I do. I'm talking for myself here. If we get beat, if it feels more painful than what it did before, because we're not used to it as much when before we were used to it week in and week out within reason. I think on average, if you look at the amount of points that West Ham have accumulated over 2021, sitting third in that table for form out of the whole of the Premier League, like that shows you the consistency that we're at, and we don't lose as many games as we used to. So we're used to that level. We're used to that level of consistency and the consistency of performing well and playing well and winning games and winning mentality. And that winning mentality is there. We've got the squad that want to be together, that have that unity. And I think if we can use every single bit of those ingredients for the game against Manchester City, let's not beat about the bush here. We are playing quite possibly one of the best teams in the world who have got fantastic world-class players streaming out of every position, probably 2 and sometimes 3 deep with a fantastic youth system. Yes, our youth system beat them recently, but we can't deny that they do have a great system in place for them. But if we can bring all these ingredients into the thing, then we've got an opportunity and we've got a chance. It's going to be tough going to the Etihad, but we need to stick with the plan of what Moyes is doing. And if you do stick with that plan, there's a chance. And that's why I say it's all about the belief. He then goes on to say about keeping our heads. We've tried not to get ahead of ourselves, but we are going to sit there. We aren't going to sit there and be miserable. We have done really well. I think there is a great feeling at the club, and I think the supporters have seen a team that they really want to watch and who they are close to. And I can't stress enough what he said there is so true. It's not that I was never proud to be a West Ham fan. I was always proud. Always, we all are always proud to be a West Ham fan. But you always felt like sometimes when you were saying, to Joe Blogs in the street, who do you support? And you're like, oh, West Ham, and I just joined them for the roller coaster. Oh wow, banter. But now it's like you're really proud. Like Joe Blogs in the street, you don't know, talk to, who do you support? West Ham. Wow, look what they're doing. I know, yeah, I've been there through the thick and the thin. I've been through the tough times. I've been there through the good times, and we're getting a lot of consistency right now. And we're just praying to God it can continue and keep going at that level and at that pace. Because oh my word, if we could excel from where we were last season in this season, the only way is up. The only way is up. Last but not least, he goes on to talk about Sonny Perkins, the young youth player who made his debut for West Ham's senior team yesterday. He says, you know how much of a thrill it is for the boy, and it means so much to them. I've given quite a few boys their debuts, and possibly if we have conceded the own goal at Genk and won that game, I might have started Sonny last night. The other 23s have done so well, and I want to reward the young players. I don't know if that could be quite possibly one of my favourite statements from Mr. David Moyes. Listen to what he has just said there. I've given quite a few of the boys their debuts, and possibly if we hadn't had conceded the own goal at Genk and won that game, I might have started Sonny last night. Sonny Perkins came off the bench last night and within a couple of minutes nearly scored a goal. The ball came in wide from the right-hand side, and it was like in the air. He left the air. He tried to header it. The keeper made a really good save. But this boy does look like he's got something about him. He's got a little bit of something about him. He's a big lad. He's a big lad. He doesn't look the age he does. He looks a little bit older than what he is, but he really does. And this bodes well for West Ham because he is keen. Moyes is keen. Moyes has got his eyes firmly on those under-23s and all those young players, and he is keen to embed them into this squad, and that is something that we want to see as fans, which is absolutely exciting. I'm going to jump into the chat and see what everyone's saying. Black Country Hammer, for over 50 years supporting West Ham, never knew anything like this great feeling. Absolutely, and long may it continue. Could you imagine, Black Country Hammer, we walk away, let's just say, with a trophy or, finishing the top 4? I mean, wow, let's just hope we can continue that consistency. John is saying it's noticeable that even the squad players, when called upon, have bought into Moyes' methods. Absolutely. And we sit here and we'll judge players, we'll judge performances, we'll judge Yarmolenko. But at the end of the day, do you know what? Yarmolenko will walk off that pitch, Moyes will tap him in the head and say, you've got a goal, mate. You've got a goal. And that's all I can really ask for. Yes, 115k a week. Yes, we want more for the money. We want bang for the buck. But Yarmolenko has played reasonably well in the Europa League, and Vlasic is slowly but surely getting better. GP, good to see you. Thank you very, very much. Clive, definitely the world's best club team. Absolutely. GP, Man City are beatable, but at home. Yeah, and we have done it before. It's been a long time. Check out the preview tomorrow evening, and we'll go through all that as well, and we'll have a Man City fan on as well. Anyone is beatable on their day, absolutely. You just fancy beating them, that is all. Yep, absolutely. Tough one Sunday. It can be done. It can be done. Anything can be done. It is going to be a tough one, but we need to remain positive as a club fully. I have faith in this squad, and I don't want to go lead with a negative, but if we don't win, we still stay fourth. It's guaranteed fourth position this time. But West Ham and Moyes absolutely won't be saying that in the mentality. He'll be going, we're going there to try and take the game to City and cause them problems, and we've got players that can do that. In a way, we got nothing to lose. I'm not saying approach it gun-ho at all. However, yeah, but there's an element of maybe we could try it that way. Harley, one interesting flaw in the City side this year is they give the ball away more than they recover it. So our physicality and pace should hurt them. Absolutely. Big lad, good thighs, Anton. Do you know what? I was making a joke last night. He had big thighs, and the lads were saying he actually doesn't have big thighs, but he has a big, solid lad. He's got big shoulders. There you go, Trev. He's got big shoulders, mate. Adrienne is saying would go 3-4-3 for this one with Johnson in the three. Trev Tube's in the house. Good to see you, mate. Afternoon from Simon Rogers. Good vibes. Marlon, hello. Thank you very much. Spud score made my evening. Absolutely. No, you don't do that, mate. No, you don't. Hughes saying 2-0 to us. Chef Tube saying, I've got a crazy urge to jump in my car, drive all the way up to Scotland, lock Anton's garden gate behind them, flapping in the wind. I've seen it for the past couple of days, and I could just go out there, but it's freezing cold. But I do need to leave because I need to go and pick up the kids. John Osborne, 2-1, West Ham. No, he won't be. There was a really small chance I was going to go because it's not actually that far from me to get there. But with a newborn, it's not going to happen. But it looks like Burnley's going to happen. So we'll see. And keep your eyes on that one. Thank you from Algeria. And Rob's projector wall 1-0 to West Ham. That brings an end to your short and sweet David Moyes press conference from the Man City. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you do hit the thumbs up. It really does help us out. Go and check the button, hit the subscribe button, hit the alert bell notification. That lets you know when all the shows come on. Go and check out the football prizes, channel sponsors. They've got a great competition coming up as well. Go and check them out. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you later on for the Late Late Show. Join us later on, and we will see you then. Come on, you Irons.